Okay, so then we'll get started with our mudra. So if you'd like to, you can lie on your back or you can come up to a seat. But today we're going to take the Ganesh mudra, and Ganesh is symbolic for the removing of obstacles. And the way that this works is that you clasp your hands in front of you. So one thumb pointing up, the other thumb pointing down, and then you'll grasp your own fingers. And then you close your thumbs on the top and bottom of the fists. And then we'll add some breath work to it. On the inhale, engage the muscles, try and pull your hands apart. On the exhale, release the tension. Inhale, tug. Exhale, release. And continuing that pattern of breath, I think that this is a really great breathing exercise because Ganesh is supposed to symbolize putting obstacles in our way so that we see them and have the opportunity to work to remove them. And I think we heard a lot of this rhetoric yesterday with Martin Luther King Jr. Day, people talking about continuing Martin Luther King Jr.'s work. And I like to think of this mudra and using this mudra as a reminder to not just engage with that on the day, but every day afterwards. We'll take 5 more rounds of breath with this mudra, and I invite you to set an intention here. And then when you finish, lower your hands down to your sides. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, roll down the back. 4 more. And then 5 circles forwards. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll down. At the bottom of your last breath, tuck your chin to your chest. Intertwine the fingers behind the head and drop the elbows down, pulling the neck nice and gentle. If you'd like to, you can send your legs out in front of you and fold yourself over, adding an opener for the back of the legs at the same time as the neck. And then slowly remove the hands, look up, place hands behind hips, soles of the feet slightly wider than the hips, arc the chest, lift the head, breathe here. And then walk your torso up and through the center of your legs. Stretch the arms out, tuck the chin. Torso raises up as legs straighten out. They can come together or they can come into a nice wide V. Place right hand by right hip. Left arm arcs up and over. If you're feeling a lot of openness in the side body today, you can come down to the forearm and stretch it out. Try and open that chest out to the side of the room. And then twisting the torso down towards that right leg, frame the hands on either side. It's not about how far down you go, it's about maintaining the structure in the spine. So try and keep your back nice and long and tall, and then you can walk the hands out to stretch yourself over the right leg. Point and flex the toes. Walking yourself to the middle of your legs, making sure your knees and toes aren't trending inward. If they are, bring your legs a little closer together. You can walk the fingertips out, maybe lower onto the forearms. Maybe you bring your hands up to a blanket or some blocks. Gaze out and down in front of you. Walking over to the left leg, frame the left leg. Walking out before going down. Point and flex those toes. And then coming into our side body stretch, left hand by left hip, right arm up and over. And then slowly crawl yourself up. On the inhale, drag the fingertips up towards the sky, look up. On the exhale, drag the elbows down and back, tuck the chin. 4 more. At the bottom of your last breath, sweep those legs together and prepare for some twists. We'll start by crossing the right ankle over the left leg. You can keep the left leg out long, or you can tuck it under. Drag fingertips up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right. Allow the inhales to draw the spine taller. The exhales to perhaps bring you a little deeper. Coming back around to face forwards. Send the left leg out long. Right leg comes to the inside of the left thigh. Walk yourself out and down. And then coming up, taking the twist on the opposite side, left ankle over right leg. Arms up to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, twist it on over. Coming back to face forwards, sending the right leg out with the left leg folded in. Walk yourself over that right leg. I'm going to fix the playlist, which is deciding to go out of order. And then walk yourself up. Make your way onto your hands and knees for your table. I'm going to make my way back to my mat. My apologies, I dropped my headphones. Coming onto the hands and knees, stacking hips over knees, shoulders over elbows, over wrists. Taking 5 rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, belly lower, chin lift, look out. Exhale, arc the back, tuck the chin. When you finish taking whatever movement feels good to you, maybe taking some wrist stretches or circling back on the hips, some full body circles, whatever your body's calling for. And then raising yourself back up. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Letting that left hand explore out front or reaching back around for the opposite hip. Next, inhale, unwind up to the sky. And exhale, settle back down. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to unwind. And exhale to settle. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips up towards the sky and take 5 breaths here to pedal out through the legs or shift between plank and downward facing dog in a ripple. Next, inhale, come onto the toes. And exhale, walk the feet to the hands. Allow yourself to hang over, whether you grab opposite elbows or plant hands on the floor. Perhaps even tucking the hands under the feet. Crawling the fingertips up the front body, raising to standing nice and slow. When you get to the shoulders, rolling them down the back, lifting chin parallel to the floor, palms shining forwards. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, sit back to the chair. You can hold here or bring hands to heart center. And perhaps add a twist, bringing right elbow towards left knee. You can do that folded over or with chest raised, or even arms open. Coming back through to center and twisting over to the right. Remembering that it's important to take the same stretch on both sides, but it doesn't have to be the same variation. I don't know about you, but both sides of my body do not always like the same thing. Twist back through center. Send the arms out long. Straighten the legs. Fold over. Next, inhale, sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, taking a right side body stretch. Perhaps left foot steps behind right. Keep breathing. And then make your way over to the left, nice and slow. And back up to center. Roll those hands back down. Taking 5 big windmills towards the back. And it's okay if those windmills are here. We're really just working on rolling the shoulders. And then 5 forwards. Let the hands swing when you've finished. Interpretive dance. And bring the feet a little wider than the hips, toes turned out 45 degrees, coming into our wide-legged squat, trying to keep knees over ankles, and swaying side to side. And then settling, stretching the arms up and bringing them to heart center. Hold here for a breath or two. You all look fabulous. And straighten the legs, fold over, wide-legged forward fold. Taking some small shifts in the hips. If you'd like to, you can flip fingertips towards the toes, walk the hands back. Bring hands back underneath the shoulders. Take a slight bend in the knees. We're gonna pivot so that we can come into some folds on each side. So I'm gonna bring my left toes perpendicular to the short edge of my mat and my right toes in. They can either come in so that they're parallel to the left foot or out 45 degrees. And the knee can either have a slight bend in it or you can straighten it. And we'll fold the chest over the left thigh. You can always have your hands up on blocks or hold on to the shin or the thigh or the hips if the hands don't feel like coming down towards the ground. Now we're going to come into the lunge. This can either be a high or a low lunge. As you bend the left knee, bringing it over the left ankle, come onto the toes of the right foot. Bringing the hands up towards the sky, lifting through the hips and the ribs and the arms. You can stay up nice and tall or bring that back knee down. If you come down into the lower lunge, you're welcome to flip onto the top of the back foot. It's really whichever feels best for you. And then while you're here, if you'd like, you can lower your right arm to the floor, to the block, or in the air, and open the chest up towards the left side, coming into a twist. Bring that right hand back up. And then you can, if you'd like, bring the left hand to the inside of the left thigh, twisting in the opposite direction. Slowly raising back up to your lunge. Windmill the hands to frame the left foot. Step left foot back to right, downward facing dog. We'll spend about 4 breaths here. If you'd like to, you can raise the left leg, bend at the knee and open the hip. If you took the hip opener, raise that leg back up, square the hips, lower left foot back down to right, and then step right foot to right thumb, straightening that right leg. You might need to bring your left foot in a footprint or two, taking the forward fold. Remember that hands can come to the shin or the hips. And And then bending right knee over right ankle, coming onto the left toes. Arms crawl up to the sky. Option to bring that back knee down, come onto the top of the foot. When you're down in low lunge, you're welcome to have the top of the foot or tuck the toes. It doesn't matter, it's personal preference. And then if you'd like, left hand lowers to the inside of right foot. Open the right arm up. And then left hand can, or right hand can lower and left hand can rise. Raise both arms back up. Windmill to frame the right foot. And step right foot back to left, downward facing dog. 4 breaths here, with the option to raise the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip. Look out under that left armpit for those right toes. Raise right leg back up, square the hips, lower right leg to left. Everyone lower your knees down for child's. Bringing big toes together, sit hips back towards the heels. Arms out in front of you. If your bottom doesn't quite reach your heels, you can always tuck a blanket in there to allow the hips to settle into the stretch. And if this doesn't feel great on your knees, you can take a blanket under the knees. Walk the hands over to the right. And then walk the hands over to the left. Bringing hands back through center. Raise the hips up. Bring the toes in line with the knees. Walk the chest down to the floor for puppy. So 2 options. For a little bit more control, you can bring the forearms to the floor and extend back through the shoulders. Alternatively, if you're feeling more open in the shoulders today, chest can lower towards the floor. I'm going to move my arms so you can see. My chin and chest are both on my mat, or my forehead is on the mat. If you'd like, you can always place a blanket underneath the chest and head for a little bit more cushioning. Breathe here. And slowly raise the chest up, walk the hands back in. Come into a comfortable seat for you. Bring your hands out to a nice wide T. Stretch them to the opposite sides of the room. You could take jazz hands. Give yourself a nice big hug with right elbow on top of left. And if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can use your fingertips to crawl along the back. Release those arms out, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then bring left arm on top of right. Release the arms, give your arms a few circles or swishes from side to side, whatever you're feeling. And then we'll come into our seated figure fours. If you prefer to take reclining pigeon, that's also an option. So I'll walk you through seated figure four first, and then reclining pigeon. So my feet are about as wide as my hips, maybe a little wider. And then I'm gonna take my left ankle and bring it on top of my right knee. It's slightly further in than my right knee, so I'm not right on the knee. If this is too deep, just send that right leg out a little further. If it's not deep enough, bring the booty and the heel closer, walk the hands in. If you'd like to take this on your back, you just lay down on your back and hug that right thigh in. We're gonna hold here for about 7 more breaths. Remembering that you can always come out whenever your body tells you to. Your body matters way more than my random breath choices. Straighten that right leg out. Remove the left leg. Bend both legs back in. Take a couple swishes from side to side. And then we'll take figure four on the right side, bringing right ankle over left thigh. Once again, if you want to take it into reclining, come down onto the back, hug the thigh in. Send the left leg out long. Remove the right. Drag both feet in and open the hips side to side. Coming into Baddha Konasana or butterfly, bringing the soles of the feet together. The closer the heels are towards the pelvis, the harder it is to get down to the floor. The further away, the more openness it gives you. Totally personal preference for your hips, depending on the day. Hands can come to toes or ankles or wrap underneath as you pull down. You can use the elbows on the thighs or towards the knees to help open that posture. Raising the torso up, bringing the hands to the knees. Bring those together. And then we're gonna make our way to standing. So whether you wanna take a couple of rocks back and forth and press your way up, no matter what way you get there, make your way to the front of your mat. We're gonna do 3 rounds of flow. The first one we'll do knees, chest, chin to cobra and hold for a few cobra breaths before finishing up. So feet underneath the hips, take a couple of rocks forwards to backwards, playing with the weight in the heels and the toes. And then settling down, finding your balance, palms shine forwards. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank, pressing through the shoulders, deep inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra, tops of the feet onto the mat, as wide as the mat, chest up. Exhale, lower. Taking 4 more cobra breaths of inhale, lower, or inhale, rise, exhale, lower. Keep those elbows knit into the ribs. Hands underneath the shoulders. Pressing your way through your table and up into your downward dog. Holding for 5 breaths here. Maybe you hold in stillness. Maybe you walk out through the legs. Maybe you shift from plank to down dog. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your palms down to your hips for Tadasana. We'll take our second flow now. This one, I'll be taking Chaturanga to upward facing dog. Feel free to take any other variation of flow you would like if you're not a fan of Chaturanga, because that's totally understandable. Hands by your hips. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale here. Exhale, take your flow. We'll meet in our downward facing dog for 2 breaths. And then slowly lower down to the knees. Touch the big toes together. Sit hips back to heels for child's. We'll hold here for 1 minute. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side, massaging from temple to temple. Making your way onto your back, bringing your strap with you. If you don't have a strap, that's totally okay. These can be done with your hands. First, hugging the knees into the chest. Send arms out to a T and droop the legs over to the right. Look out to the left. Coming in to some supine twists. Engaging the core, lifting the knees through center before releasing them down to the left. Look out to the right. Bringing the knees back up. Send the right leg out long. Placing right hand on left knee. Allow the left knee to twist down over to the right side. Coming only so far as both shoulders remain on the mat. Tipping back flat. Sending that left leg out. Bend the right leg in. Tip right knee over to left side. Coming back flat. And sending that right leg up to the sky. If you'd like, you can wrap the strap around the ball of the foot or intertwine the fingers behind the thigh. Hug that right leg in. Maintaining control of the legs, slowly opening right leg to right side. You can keep your left hand on your left hip to help counterbalance. And then slowly raise the right leg up, passing strap off to the left hand, cross right leg over left side body. Bring the right leg back up. Remove the strap and slowly lower that right leg down to the floor. Raising the left leg up, you can wrap the strap around the sole of the left foot. Opening left leg to the left side. Noticing the difference in the two halves of the body. Slowly raising the left leg up, passing the strap into the right hand. Cross left leg over to the right side. Raising left leg, removing the strap and lowering that leg down to the floor. Pulling both of the knees into the chest. And bringing the feet into the hands, rocking side to side in happy baby. You can take any last stretches, inversions, or exercises your body is calling for before lowering yourself into Shavasana, the final meditative posture of this practice. I invite you to bring your intention back to your heart and your mind, and taking 5 deep breaths, perhaps with the hands on the belly, or one on the belly and one on the chest. Feeling new breath flow in. And releasing the exhales. Letting the hands melt down to the sides, releasing into the steady pace of the breath. Allowing it to wash over you like a wave. Sweeping relaxation in through the toes, up the legs, through the torso, flowing out through the arms, up the spine, neck, and head. Allowing the back of the neck to lengthen, the jaw to loosen, and the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Just breathe. Bringing the attention back to the breath and small movements to the fingers and toes. Rolling onto your right side. Right arm is your pillow. For a few more breaths in this space, your space. Pressing up into a comfy seat, eyes closed or softly gazing at the floor in front of you. Hands at heart center or open on your lap, or perhaps in our mudra from earlier, our Ganesh mudra, holding your hands, thumb closed on the top and bottom. Filling yourself with gratitude for your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. By the mercy of my teachers, the light within me honors the light within all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for coming.